I'm ready, you, all you, time to get to go to sleep.
And you know you fear me.
Now that I'm down with 50, suddenly now I got beef with the Ja.
No wonder feminine be cross-dressing in pumps and tight little dresses.
I'm holding shit responsible for the death of Ja Rule or anyone else down with the road.
Shut up, Em, you claim your mother's a gay. I and Kim is a known else, so what's Hailie gonna be when she grows up?
The year is 1999 and the landscape of hip-hop was changing drastically. After the untimely passing of both Tupac and Biggie, hip-hop was going through a transitional phase. A lot of the stars from the late 80s and early 90s were fading, and new stars were emerging like Jay-Z, Busta Rhymes, Mace, and more. DMX would become the face of the genre after exploding in popularity in 1998, dropping 2 all-time classic albums in the same year. Queens rapper Ja Rule had gained a ton of popularity in the late 90s, appearing on tracks alongside DMX, Jay-Z, LL Cool J, and more. Ja Rule's style was different from the gritty street rap of the era. Ja fused hip-hop and R&B, becoming one of the pioneers of the style that we see a lot of artists use today. As Ja Rule was on the cusp of superstardom, there would be a rapper that would absolutely take over the game in 1999. A rapper from Detroit, Michigan, who went under the name Eminem, would drop his debut studio album, the Slim Shady LP, on February 23rd, 1999. After the release of this album, Eminem would explode into a household name as the album sold over 200,000 copies first week and went 3 times platinum in its first year alone. Ja Rule, on the other hand, was about to get his big break, dropping his debut single Holla Holla just a week later on March 2nd, 1999. The record would be a major success, peaking at number 35 on the Billboard Hot 100. That summer, on June 1st, Ja Rule dropped his debut studio album, Veni Vidi Vici. The album would be a success, selling 184,000 copies in the first week, debuting at number 3. During this time, an up-and-coming rapper who went by the stage name 50 Cent was beginning to gain a local buzz after dropping his debut single, How to Rob. 50 was gearing up for the release of his debut album, Power of the Dollar, as he was trying to gain himself enough buzz so Columbia can begin his rollout. This beef all started later in 1999 when a beef would break out between 50 Cent and Ja Rule. I'm not going to touch on this because that's for a whole separate video, so stay tuned for that. Initially, Ja and M had no beef with each other and remained neutral. In the summer of 2000, 50 Cent, who was seen as the biggest threat to Ja and Murder Inc., would be shot 9 times outside of his grandmother's house in South Jamaica, Queens. In the summer of 2000, both Eminem and Ja Rule's careers were on the rise, as Eminem dropped his second album, the Marshall Mathers LP, on May 23rd, 2000, which sold an astonishing 1.78 million copies in the first week alone. Eminem was reaching heights that no rapper has ever reached before. On the other hand, Ja Rule was getting bigger as he began the rollout for his second album, dropping the first single, Between Me and You, in June of 2000. The track would be a smash hit, peaking at number 11 on the Billboard. On October 3rd, 2000, Ja dropped his second album, Rule 336, which would sell 276,000 copies in the first week. The single Put It On Me would peak at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming one of the biggest songs of 2001. Ja Rule went on a crazy run in 2001, dropping his track Livin' It Up on September 10th, which would peak at number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. In October of 2001, Ja Rule dropped his first collaboration with Murder Inc.'s newest signee, singer Ashanti. The track was titled Always On Time and would reach number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 1 on the Hot R&B/Hip-Hop Songs charts. Ja Rule was a walking hit, and this was truly his peak, but lurking in the shadows was 50 Cent, who was looking to come back and take over. That's exactly what 50 ended up doing. In April of 2002, 50 Cent dropped his debut mixtape, Guess Who's Back. The mixtape got a great reception, putting 50 Cent back on the map tenfold. The problem 50 was facing was that he was seemingly blackballed from most of the recording studios in New York, and no label from New York wanted to sign him due to his ongoing beef with Ja Rule. They also didn't want to get involved in his street beef with Kenneth Supreme, so a lot of labels were scared to sign him. But if there's someone in the industry that isn't scared of confrontation, it's Eminem. In 1999, Eminem had created his own record label called Shady Records. After listening to Guess Who's Back, Eminem absolutely loved the mixtape. In June of 2002, 50 Cent and G-Unit dropped the mixtape 50 Cent is the Future. The mixtape would gain 50 even more buzz, as he was now without a doubt the hottest free agent. While filming his movie 8 Mile, Eminem made the phone call to 50 Cent to fly him out to LA to discuss potentially signing him. This was the perfect storm, since no executives in New York wanted any part of 50 and the beef he was getting into. On June 17, 2002, 50 Cent would officially sign to Shady Records for $1 million. At the meeting, Eminem and Dre sat down with 50 Cent, asking him to squash his beef with Ja Rule and not to diss him anymore. 50 agreed that he was not going to diss Ja and decided to move on from the beef. However, Ja Rule and Irv Gotti weren't done with the beef. They would go on interviews bashing 50, bragging about the stabbing incident that occurred at the Hit Factory Studios in late 1999. After having enough of Ja and Irv dissing him, M gave 50 the green light to respond to Ja Rule. This is when 50 would go at Ja Rule again, and the beef would reignite fully. According to 50 Cent, Eminem and Ja Rule were actually cool with each other prior to this and actually hung out together.
And they had a relationship because they had hung out together and got high together.
Ja and M?
Yeah.
Things kicked off in September of 2002. Ja Rule would sit down for an interview with The Source magazine. During this interview, Ja would send a warning to Eminem for allowing 50 to publicly diss him. Ja and Irv consider their Queensbridge-Hollis alliance to be smart business. However, they don't view Eminem's signing of Ja's nemesis, 50 Cent, to Shady Records / Aftermath in the same light. Gotti denies making calls to blackball 50 Cent. "I ain't thinking about you, dog," he smirks. But the news of the Shady Aftermath signing was not well received by Murder Inc. "Suge just chased you the f*** up out of here. So what you think, I'm the sucker?" asks Ja in reference to Dre. "If you're gonna be authorizing 50 Cent to spew records on me, then I wanna do what I gotta do to take your company under." And that goes for Dre, M, or whoever. Eminem wouldn't initially respond to this because during this time, he was in the middle of a beef with Benzino, with diss tracks going back and forth. Ja Rule would warn Eminem again in an interview with Sway, saying, "Dre and M, like I didn't have any problems with y'all. So now y'all telling me y'all want to take on this problem and let him spew and spit tracks and whatever under your advisement? That's a problem." It seemed as if Eminem inherited the beef with Ja Rule from 50 Cent, and things were about to get ugly in 2003. On February 18th, 2003, the soundtrack for the film Cradle to the Grave was released. On this is a track titled Go to Sleep by Eminem featuring DMX and Obi Trice. At the end of his verse, Eminem would respond to Ja's warnings with a warning of his own, and this would be the first official shot thrown on wax.
What I thought you pitiful, I'm rid of you, all you, Ja, you'll get it too.
The next month, Dr. Dre, Eminem, and 50 Cent would appear on the March 2003 edition of the XXL magazine. All three of them sat down for an interview, and during the interview, Eminem would be asked about Ja Rule. M was asked about his reaction to Ja Rule's warning in his Source interview, to which M responded saying, "First of all, me and Dre didn't realize that we need to consult with Ja Rule and Irv Gotti on all of our business moves. Second, I'm going to tell you some real shit, and that man cannot deny any of it. During the end of the tour for the Eminem show, I was waiting to get off my bus and get onto a jet, and Ja was getting off the jet, and it was me and D12 rapper Bizarre and one of my security guys. Busy gets on and says, 'Yo, Ja's out there, you wanna holla at him?' So I came up to him on some humble shit and said, 'What's up, Ja? What are you trying to get into?' And he was like, 'Just about to swallow this pill.' Took it right in front of me. Basically, he was like, 'I'm about to go to this club, keep doing your thing.' Now, we had already signed 50 at that point. I was basically saying what's up to be cool about the situation and to see that if there was a problem, if he's going to address it. He said nothing to me about it. Then 2 weeks later, that issue of The Source came out, and I seen what he said. At first, I was confused. Like, how long does it take for them to print a magazine? If he had a problem with me signing 50 Cent, why didn't he address it that night? Now, all of a sudden, he's got an album coming out, and it's a problem? It's funny because the night of the MTV VMAs, the article had come out, but I didn't see it till the next day. So at one point, I'm going down the stairs, and he's coming up the stairs, and we almost cross paths. I'm thinking it's all good, so I'm trying to look, make a little eye contact, and say, 'What up?' He had his head to the floor, and he walked straight up the steps. I was kinda confused till the next day when I read the article. Then I was like, oh, I see. He put it out there in the article, so now he has to play it up for the public. That same month, Murder Inc. artist Black Child dropped his mixtape A Warrior's Words. On this mixtape, Ja would officially take to wax to respond to Eminem. On the track Murder Freestyle, Ja would get real disrespectful when mentioning M's mom, saying that Eminem fears him.
Y'all make ground beef out your bed and have your moms getting by on the daily. And you know you fear me.
On the track Bang Bang Bang, Ja Rule responds to Jay-Z's line on his song Excuse Me Miss. Ja would include himself in this list.
Who else you gonna run with? The truth is us. Only dudes moving units, M Pimp Juice and us.
For those who check sound gang, check again. It's Rule, Pimp Juice, and Eminem.
On the track Ratchet, there would be more shots at Eminem. The rapper Shadow would diss Eminem, referring to him as Feminem.
Banks instantly, you ain't nothing to moke out. Shoot you right in front of Eminem and walk out.
Black Child then gets involved, saying that he'll punch Eminem in the face.
And Eminem, I punch him in his motherfucking face. Beat him black and blue and it ain't about race.
Fast forward the next month, on April 4th, 2003, Ja Rule would drop a diss track aimed at 50 Cent and Eminem called Loose Change. Ja starts off the track saying he'll slap Feminem. Then Ja would reference how Eminem cross-dressed in his music videos for The Real Slim Shady and Without Me.
No wonder Eminem be cross-dressing in pumps and tight little dresses.
On the second verse, Ja questions why Eminem wears a do-rag when he can't get any waves.
The do-rag off. You're never gonna have waves, you'll never know black pain, but you can become the first white rapper slain.
At the end of the verse, Ja Rule would cross the line when he referenced Eminem's daughter Hailie in these infamous lines.
Shut up, Em, you claim your mother's a cat and Kim is a known self, so what's Hailie gonna be when she grows up?
Eminem and 50 Cent had enough of Ja Rule and his diss tracks, so just 11 days later, on April 15th, DJ Green Lantern dropped his mixtape Invasion Part 2, Conspiracy Theory. This mixtape would be flooded with responses to Ja Rule from Eminem. On the second track called Freestyle, M would do an interlude mocking Ja Rule, which then went into Ja's diss on the Murder Freestyle.
Hey, you're now tuned in to W Below the Radar Radio, where we're bringing you all the latest jealous misses in hip-hop and R&B. Mostly R&B. Keep it locked in right here. Coming up next, we got the new Last Temptation by Ja Rule's Nothing Anymore. And stay tuned, be the first caller and win a free last month issue of that magazine that doesn't have anything to write about. This is Below the Radar Radio for anybody who's stupid enough to listen.
On the track Bump Heads, Eminem goes at Ja. He starts off saying that he bit DMX's sound, which was a debate during this time, and even started a beef between Ja Rule and DMX. If you want a deeper look into that, check out the video I made on it. I'll leave that in the description. Then M says that Ja also bit Tupac's sound. Then Eminem would reference the run-in that he had with Ja Rule last year that we discussed earlier in M's interview with XXL.
Where was all the tough talk when I walked up to you like, Ja, what up, dog? How come you didn't say you had a problem, Nick?
On the track Hail Mary, M, 50, and Busta Rhymes all got together to diss Ja Rule over Tupac's legendary track, Hail Mary. M starts off saying that if Pac were alive, he would never ride with Ja.
If Pac was still here now, you could never ride with Ja. Nah, 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 nah.
On the first verse, M keeps referencing Pac when he does a play on Pac's Hail Mary verse, but directs it towards Ja and makes fun of his ecstasy habit.
You ain't no killer, you a piece of at least it's got you all emotional and mushy.
The track Halies Revenge, aka Do Re Mi, serves as a full-length diss track towards Ja Rule. M and Hailie open up the track with a skit mocking Ja Rule.
Bring Daddy his Oscar. Okay. We're gonna shove it up Ja Rule's ass.
D12 member Swifty McVeigh then disses Ja Rule throughout the first verse.
You on pocket, kid. You a replica guy. If you was still alive, you would never get back.
Obi Trice then comes in the track with disses for Ja Rule.
I'm an actor, / Pac impersonating rapper, / Billie Holiday, how it happened.
Kaniva then performs the third verse, dissing Ja.
We don't take you serious, you into shook, you half of a halfway crook. Get off that, don't sing a hook.
Proof and Con Artist then occupied the 4th and 5th verses.
Slim didn't send proof to get it to Wingsters. He told me to let loose and spit it to gangsters. What up, Gotti?
On the chorus, M once again calls Ja Rule a wannabe Tupac. On the outro, Obi Trice and Eminem have some words for Ja Rule.
Ja Rule, poke your ass.
Daddy, is Ja Rule taller than me?
No, honey, you guys are the same size.
On the track We All Die One Day, Eminem opens up his verse going at Ja Rule.
Bring it to anybody who want it, you gon' get it. Name him, we gon' hit him. Chew him up and spit him out.
On the track Keep Talking, Eminem has some words for Ja on the chorus.
Keep talking, keep on popping off at them jaws because we ain't stopping.
Fast forward to that summer, Ja Rule and Irv Gotti graced the cover of the June 2003 issue of the XXL magazine, where they would sit down for an interview. During this interview, Ja and Irv addressed the ongoing beef with 50 Cent and Eminem. Ja would claim that at the 2003 Grammys, back in February, he was planning on slapping Eminem. The interviewer would ask, "You and 50 haven't crossed paths since?" Ja responded, "We've been in the same city, same spot, supposed to be in the same places, have not seen him. Grammy Awards? No 50. #1 album in the country, hottest album, hottest rapper right now in the country, and you're not at the Grammy Awards? Your man's performing, takes an award, and you're not there? You don't come and take your seat, M? You never sat down at the awards. You stay in the back the whole time. I wasn't supposed to do nothing but slap you. You could have took your seat. It wasn't going to be nothing. You could take a slap. If you would have went any further, then I would have whipped your ass. But a slap? You can take a slap. I was waiting. Confrontation. Show your face. Talk about it. Be about it. And when I get my hands on 50 again, I'm gonna wear his ass out. Him, M, Dre, any of these dudes. I'm gonna wear their ass out on top of the raps. But you didn't have a problem with Eminem until he signed 50. Weren't you guys cool? I've met him before. It was always like, what's up? I mean, we played pool together one time. It was a while ago. When his first album was out or whatever. Some social shit. Never nothing special. But it's incredible that this kid wants to involve himself. Let me tell you something. I like Eminem, but f him. Because he's riding with this dude over here. And you don't have to, M. You're not a tough dude. You're not from the hood. You're not from the streets. So now you think you're a street dude? You think you could f***ing talk street because of this clown? This dude 50 is not a street dude. He's peddled drugs on the street, but he's not a street dude. You could tell by his f***ing code of ethics. He gets in magazines and screams out gangsters' names. I blame Eminem for really sparking this whole shit up. The whole divide and conquer thing. Why not? Why not let these two f***ing dudes kill each other? Why not? Then the interviewer would ask Irv Gotti, what are your feelings on Eminem's success? Do you subscribe to the Benzino theory that Eminem's success as a white person is bad for hip-hop? Irv responded, no, I think anytime that somebody's rhyming and sells that many records, it's good for hip-hop because it exposes it to a wider, broader audience that may not have listened to hip-hop before. But because he sells so many records, there's a lot of dick riding of Eminem, in my opinion. I'm gonna pose a question. I didn't see 8 Mile in the movies because it was sold out everywhere, but I seen it when I flew overseas. They was talking Oscar-worthy. When I look at 8 Mile, I think it's Krish Grove. It's a story of a guy coming up and trying to get on in hip-hop music. That's what Krish Grove was about. Why didn't Run get Oscar-worthy nominations when he did Krish Grove, but Eminem does? It's definitely a racist thing. The Cracker got it good, because when I hear Lose Yourself, it sounds like backpack rap. You really don't see dude's talent? He's probably the best rapper in the game. That's bull. I can't ride with that at all. I mean, he's clever with this shit, but maybe it's reverse racism that I'm doing right now. Maybe I can't personally feel him. So if you want to talk about Eminem, I don't give a f about the little cracker because he can't feel my pain. And one word of advice I'm gonna give him is, dog, this isn't in sync. When you talk about the ink, you're talking about a lot of dudes that came home from jail, doing 10, 15 years that pledge Murder Inc. This ain't in sync, dog. As I say that, and it's a very serious thing, I don't want no problems. The next month, in July 2003, Benzino dropped his mixtape Industry Killers. Ja Rule and Benzino would come together to diss Eminem and the rest of Shady Aftermath. Fast forward to September 23rd, 2003, Obi Trice dropped his album Cheers. On the track Shit Hits the Fan, Eminem would diss Ja Rule. M starts off dissing Ja on the chorus.
Are you gonna stand and fight like a man? Will you be as hard as you say you are?
Dr. Dre would then get involved when he would diss Ja on the first verse.
trying to add fuel to the fire. This little Eminem and Ja Rule talking about he's gonna slap me. Please.
On the second verse, Obi tries to diss Ja, saying that ever since M dissed him, he hasn't been the same.
And ever since Eminem dissed you, I swear I see the women and bitching you.
On the outro, Eminem has a message for Ja and Murder Inc., saying that if someone touches his people, he will put $1 million bounty on Ja Rule's head.
Someone's gonna get killed, and I swear to God, if someone so much as even touches one of my people, I put $1 million on his head.
A couple of weeks later, on October 7th, 2003, Booyah Tribe dropped their album West Coasta Nostra. On this is a track titled 9/11, featuring Eminem, and on his verse, M would diss Ja Rule once again.
Nobody saw it happen, all cause your jaws are flapping, and you couldn't stop yapping, and took it past rapping.
Ja got wind of this, so later that month, on October 24th, 2003, Ja dropped the one and only single for his upcoming album, Blood in My Eye, a track titled Clap Back. On the track, Ja went at 50 and also dissed Eminem. Ja references how Eminem dressed like Osama bin Laden at the end of the Without Me music video, saying he's gonna find where he's hiding. A couple of weeks later, on November 4th, 2003, Ja Rule dropped his fifth album, Blood in My Eye. The album was mostly dedicated to dissing 50 Cent and Shady Aftermath. The track Clapback would appear on the album. On the track Things Gon' Change / 2 punk-ass quarters skit, Ja would once again reference and diss Eminem.
First off, up the snitch and that unity claim, up Trey Partial and Eminem.
On the self-titled track Blood in My Eye, Ja is responding to DMX, claiming he was having a relationship with a male stylist. Ja says that DMX must have been talking about M and Dre, not him. On the track It's Murder, Ja Rule gets real disrespectful, saying that he's gonna send 50 Cent and Eminem where 50 Cent's mom is at. Now, if you don't know, 50 Cent's mother passed away when he was at a young age.
To engage in combat, to send you in film where your mom's at.
On the second verse, Hussein Fatal would then get involved when he would diss Eminem, saying that he's not a gangster. During this time, Eminem was working on his next album, Encore. He recorded a couple of tracks for the album and some diss tracks aimed at a couple of different rappers. He would end up burning these records on a CD and giving them to his brother Nathan. Someone would end up breaking into Nathan's car and getting the CD, so it would be bootlegged underground and dubbed as Straight from the Lab on November 7th, 2003. Whoever did this completely ruined the Encore album. On the track Monkey See, Monkey Do, Eminem would diss Ja. He referenced the time when 50 Cent snatched Ja's chain in Atlanta back in 1999.
I've never been shot, but I think me and 50 must have been caught from the same cloth, cause I've always came off like Ja's chain when they tried to rush him and lost, and came back and gave him a watch in exchange for it.
At the end of the verse, M says that Ja definitely isn't in his list of rappers that he wants to battle, and says that when he comes back, he will be shooting more than just paintballs, referencing the scene in his movie 8 Mile.
A lot of rappers on my list that just ain't Ja, and I'ma read that motherfucker off come April. You can still think I went soft, cause 8 Mile, when I come back, I'll be shooting more than just paintballs, trust me.
On the track Bully, which was originally set to appear on his next album, Encore, Eminem dissed Benzino and Ja Rule. The first verse is dedicated to Benzino, and the second verse is dedicated to Ja Rule. M admits that he did in fact inherit the Ja Rule beef directly from 50 Cent. Then M mentioned Suge Knight because of Suge's long-running beef with Dr. Dre. Suge decided to take Ja Rule's side in the beef.
They just keep hounding at me now that I'm down with 50. Suddenly now I got beef with the Ja. But that's such a puppet, or could shove his whole hand up it and just make him say what he wants him to say. But Suge has Irv on a string, and Irv so nervous that he says anything to this man to keep him at bay.
M then feeds into the rumor that DMX started about Ja Rule allegedly having an affair with his male stylist while on drugs.
So now you try to pull the race card, and it backfires in your face hard, cause you know we don't play that black and white ish. Plus the stylist you called when you was easy to catch up was just a man who's dressed up as a white bitch.
On the third verse, Eminem sends a warning to Ja Rule, telling him that if this beef escalates any further, then Ja Rule could potentially wind up losing his life.
Dog, I'm talking to you straight. If the situation escalates any worse, we're gonna lose another soldier to this game. And if I get killed for this rap, I got $1 million in cash that says I will get you back in Haley's name.
On the track 6 in the Morning, Come On In, Eminem once again goes at Ja Rule.
I just can't get past these little fans that wanna be corny, badass, it's so bad.
The next year in 2004, D12 dropped a freestyle called Got It Twisted. On his verse, Eminem would go at Ja Rule, referring to him by his government name, Jeffrey.
Ain't got no more targets. Irv and Jeff, we done beat them to death.
On March 30th, 2004, DJ K-Slay dropped his mixtape Street Sweeper Volume 2, The Pain from the Game. On this is a track titled I'm Gone with Eminem and Obi Trice. On his verse, Eminem disses Ja Rule and Murder Inc.
I murder this thing as soon as I touch the page. You ain't gonna have no other choice but to rush the stage.
That summer, on June 15th, 2004, Proof would drop his mixtape I Miss the Hip Hop Shop. On this mixtape is a diss track on Ja Rule called Ja in a Bra.
I know you just wanna rap and be pop, but before it's said and done, you gon' see pop.
After beefing with 50 Cent, Eminem, and DMX at the same time in 2004, Ja Rule would attempt to make a career resurgence. On October 27th, he dropped a track titled New York alongside Fat Joe and Jadakiss. Despite having a hit, when it came to drop the album, it didn't perform well. On November 9th, 2004, Ja Rule dropped his 6th album, Rule, which would sell around 165,000 units in the first week, debuting at number 7 on the Billboard, which was awful, especially compared to his previous work. Ja was really feeling the effects of beefing with Eminem. Just 3 days later, on November 12th, 2004, Eminem dropped his album Encore. On this album is a track titled Like Toy Soldiers. This track was themed around Eminem's beef with Benzino and Ja Rule. Eminem was seemingly trying to squash the beef with both of them because he doesn't want it to escalate to someone dying. On the first verse, M says that initially he tried to squash the beef between 50 and Ja, but Ja crossed the line by saying Hailie's name.
Let's try to squash it. It was too late to stop it. I heard him say Hailie's name on the song and I just lost it.
On the second verse, M once again says that he and Dre tried stopping the 50 and Ja beef upon signing 50 to Shady Aftermath.
We actually tried to stop the 50 and Ja beef from happening. Me and Dre had sat with him.
After this, the beef went quiet as Ja Rule stopped dropping albums, putting his focus elsewhere, and Eminem went on a hiatus battling his drug addiction. Fast forward to July 31st, 2009, Ja Rule dropped this project, The Mirror. On the track 300, it's speculated that he took a subliminal shot at Eminem, referencing M's chorus on the track Go to Sleep.
Go to sleep, it's time.
Fast forward all the way to 2018, and this beef would reignite. On August 31st, 2018, Eminem dropped his album Kamikaze. On the track Greatest, Eminem mentioned Ja Rule, warning any rapper who dares to beef with him that he would end up like Ja.
Somebody better top proof it, cause if I lose it, we can rewind to some old Ja Rule shit and I can remind myself of how you shit.
On the track Not Alike, while addressing MGK, Eminem would do that same thing, warning him that he could end up like Ja.
But keep commenting on my daughter, Hailie. I keep on telling me for those bitches in case you forgot. Really, you need your memory.
The next day, Ja Rule would respond to M's diss when he replied to a tweet writing, "Guess that Hailie line must be starting to hit home," with a laughing emoji. A couple of weeks later, on September 14th, 2018, Eminem dropped his diss track towards MGK, Kill Shot. On the track, he would mention Ja, saying that he's putting MGK's name next to his as rappers that he ended.
Kelly, they'll be putting your name next to Ja, next to Benzino.
Ja got sick and tired of M mentioning him, so the next day he took to Instagram to call out Eminem, writing, "The more M mentions my name, the more I realize how legendary I am. I was killing the game so hard that all the biggest rappers in the industry at the time joined forces to dethrone the god, LMAO, in the history of hip-hop. Name another time that has happened, let alone accepted, and I handled it like a man on the mic and in them streets. My music is timeless. Love and peace to everybody." 3 days later, he would respond further on Twitter, writing, "My last album, Pain is Love 2, better than Kamikaze. Let's debate. No hate. But I'm talking substance and content versus trolling and cloud chasing. I'm bumping PIL2 all day today. Hashtag content over cloud chasing." Fast forward 2 years later, on December 18th, 2020, Eminem dropped Side B of Music to Be Murdered By. On the track Book of Rhymes, he would once again mention Ja Rule.
It's music to be murdered by, so one of hair can swallow up Ja Rule, bobblehead, and that's slow.
Fast forward to July 12th, 2024, Eminem dropped his album The Death of Slim Shady. On the track Guilty Conscience 2, he would once again take shots at Ja Rule.
You just sound like a it. Wait, nah, fool. What? When I say it's, I mean Ja Rule.
Then at the end of the verse, he recounts all of his rap beefs and would mention Ja Rule once again.
So to Jamal and Ja Rule into all my feuds, including mine, I'm welcoming you to my last hurrah.
Fast forward to January 12th, 2025, a bunch of older unreleased tracks that Eminem recorded ended up leaking. This would be dubbed as Straight from the Lab Part 3. In those leaks is a track called Smack You, which was recorded in 2003 during the height of his beef with Ja Rule. This track would serve as a diss track mainly towards Suge Knight, but also had a lot of shots at Ja Rule. Despite Eminem having his own issues with Suge Knight, on behalf of Dre, Suge Knight also publicly supported Ja Rule in his beef with Shady Aftermath just to spite Dre. M starts off referencing his diss towards Ja Rule on Do Re Mi, where he said he's shoving his Oscar up Ja Rule's ass.
Bring daddy his Oscar.
Okay.
We're gonna shove it up Ja Rule's ass, man. I'm holding her responsible. The cookie monster of rap won't give Hailie back an Oscar. They lost it up Ja Rule's ass.
Then Eminem would mention Ja Rule's daughter because he mentioned Hailie first.
And I think he's got a daughter too, but we ain't gotta talk about his dirty ass little kids like he did to you.
Then Eminem goes real disrespectful by dissing Ja Rule's wife, mocking her weight.
You don't even raise your kids, you're waddling Donald Duck, fat ass of a wife who lives in McDonald's does.
M would then mention how Ja is now trying to hang around Suge.
Begging Suge to get him to follow you to all the clubs, but you're too dumb to see that your publishing's all he wants.
He also says that he holds Suge responsible if Ja Rule ends up dead.
I'm holding Suge responsible for the death of Ja Rule or anyone else down with the road.
That summer on July 4th, 2025, JID dropped this project GDLU Prelux. On this is a track titled Animals Part 1 featuring Eminem. And on his verse, M would diss Ja Rule once again.
Go kiss my house, a horse like a brothel. I done put Ja Rule through it like law school.